The title of the exhibition is called Practice Till We Meet. There are two layers of meaning. First, like for someone who is new to a place or for someone who does not see the ground underneath their foot home, a lot of practices are needed, a lot of exercises, maybe process of learning and relearning, process of connecting to others or to the environment. And a lot of times these efforts are not to be done individually. In the works included in this exhibition, you'll see the artists using approaches or methods such as collaboration, interaction, community engagement, or even sometimes social experiments. In this exhibition, you will see like a very diverse expressions of migrant experiences. From, for example, Koki Tanaka's work, there are this violence and inequality that Korean Japanese faces. There's artist Mimian Hsu. Her family is from Taiwan, but she lives and grows up in Costa Rica, and her work kind of represents that experience. And we also have artists from China talking about emigration. We also have local Manchester artist Audrey Albert engaging migrant community, the Chagossians in Manchester.
The work is called Matter Out of Place, and it explores my Chagossian origins. So I'm from Mauritius, and my grandparents on my mum's side are from the Chagos archipelago. The Chagos are multiple islands found in the middle of the Indian Ocean where the natives and the whole community were forcefully displaced in the 60s when Mauritius got its independence. So this series is about celebrating Chagossian culture, but also reclaiming a lot of stereotypes around the Chagossian community, around the Afro-Mauritian community through cultural objects or household objects, daily objects that Chagossians would use, but that are also recognized by Mauritians and by various communities throughout the world too. So there's a community of Chagossians in Manchester, in Wythenshawe. And when I started working on the project, I also worked with them to find out more about who are Chagossians, what is the culture about, what was the food like, what is the food like, what was the music like. So it's a project that celebrated that.
For the work Two-Leg Stool, you see a mirror. From one side, you see a two-leg stool. One leg is reflected by the mirror. And when you walk to the other side, you see that this stool has 3 legs. And it's also because of the reflections of the mirror. The whole inspiration actually comes from a statement from Deng Xiaoping. He said something very interesting during the discussion for the future of Hong Kong between China and the UK. He said there is no 3-legged stool, but 2-legged stool, which means that there are only China and the UK who have the power to discuss the future of Hong Kong. There is no 3-legged stool because Hong Kong is not part of it. Hong Kong people don't have the power to negotiate for the future of Hong Kong. I found this statement very interesting, and from this I created a work where you see from one side the 2-legged stool, and from the other side you see from the reflections that there are 3 legs. I think the work itself is not trying to convey like one message or like one particular thing, but it's how all these different fragments could be from history, from imagination, and from it's also like my artistic practice, how they come together, and to offer some questions to the audience to think.
AFSAR was founded by Mooney Perry and Hanlu Zhang in 2021, and Eugene Park and myself, Yuan Huang, we joined the end of last year, 2022, and they have been carrying out a series of reading sessions and study sessions, including practices, researchers, artists, and curators that has a feminist approach to their work and research topics. The video is the outcome of our first proxy conference. It was developed purely online because 4 of us are all based in different cities, inviting other participants and artists and researchers to play a computer game together. And through playing games remotely to create this sense of shared experience, like this trust and mutual topic that we can talk about. That is the foundation of Practise Conference, to have a mutual experience when we don't have a shared physical space together.
When I get a curatorial invitation, I always wanted to respond to the time and space of this invitation. So how I came up with this theme is actually from reading Easy Contemporary or the previous CFCCA, Center for Chinese Contemporary Art, reading through their history and archives. And I found out there were actually more than one reorganizations or renaming, repositioning. I feel like the organization is also like a person who needs to constantly find new expressions if they're in an environment they're not most familiar with. So I also want to respond to that. So it's a practice for everyone. Yeah.